Hi guys, it happened again. Just one day ago when I made a video, I inspired somebody else to figure out more stuff in MGS 2 with more glitches, which then lead to more glitches in MGS 1, which then lead to more glitches in MGS the Twin Snakes. Here is the full story. Yesterday when I was making the video about the cutscene glitch in MGS 2 Master Collection, of course MGS 3 Master Collection, I also tested a few things around, and if you want to see the full story, of course, the video to that original video from yesterday is of course also linked in the description down below. Today we're gonna talk about what happened after that. And the big thing is that we found a relatively sizable skip, at least for MGS 1, and a few more funny interactions for MGS 2, and of course the cousin to all of those, MGS the Twin Snakes, which is MGS 1's remake inside of the MGS 2 engine. So as I happened to stumble over it, this is where this story originally begins, you can actually delete items in MGS 2, just equipping them in the frame perfect timing. This happened to me a year ago when I was running MGS 2 and I got kicked by a guard, and all of a sudden the so-called BDU or enemy uniform was taken away from me, but not just off me as a Raiden, but actually out of my inventory, just got deleted. That led to Platonic Eye and then playing around with it more, and we found out actually you can delete everything. You can even delete the empty slot. Yes, you heard that right. You can delete nothing in MGS 2 if you want to. The video of that is also linked in the description down below. Based on that knowledge that we had, Marlon8, who also was featured in yesterday's video, played around with this more and actually found out one interesting thing. The electric floor panel in front of the president's room in Shell 2 Core 1F actually is also just a regular damage interaction. He tried around with it a little bit and found out, yes, if you equip the box at just the right time, or if you unequip it and then get damaged, you are basically invulnerable. This is relatively similar to something that we've been using for ages. That is called the ladder glitch. If you interact with the ladder and you're about to go on the ladder to take it up or down, if at the same time you also equip the camera, for example, or the box, items that change your view, then you can glitch during this interaction where both animations should normally play at the same time. You getting on the ladder or being inside the box, or you getting on the ladder and equipping the camera and changing your field of view. These two interactions override each other, and actually you stay then in third person as normally, but you can do funky stuff. If you've ever seen an all-dog tags run, you know how the tanker holds usually work out. It's quite funny to see. But even in the regular speedruns, we use this to quickly get away from the ladder and just fall down. And since this version of the glitch does not give us any fall damage, we can just do the ladder way quicker this way rather than just taking it normally. Now back again to, of course, the electric floor panel. That electric floor panel, sadly, so far does not do anything for us. Marlon found out you can still interact with the level and do this little hopping animation, but sadly we can still not go through the door. The door is still locked and seemingly still needs the key for it. However, he found out in Snake Tales D, in theory, we can use the same trick there and the door would open for us. And we just need to throw a magazine against the electric panel and that would destroy it. We don't even need a rocket for that necessarily. The electric panel basically just gets destroyed by any kind of damage that we can possibly do. That's the thing, in Snake Tales D we don't have a box. So, just to proof that concept, glitched in with the trainer a box into the inventory and then did this little trick. And then, yeah, you can basically, without needing to damage the electric panel, go over the electric floor and then open the door, get inside, get back into bounds, and then just throw a magazine. And with that method, you can destroy the electric panel that way, continue on with the story. But alas, again, in Snake Tales D, you don't get a box, unfortunately. And for the main game, the door doesn't open. So we're a little bit stuck on that front. Of course, since we know MGS 2 is of course using the same engine as MGS the Twin Snakes, we look forward to the MGS Twin Snakes. And the MGS Twin Snakes, you can actually do the same thing. At the electric floor panel here in Nuke Building 2B, the underground, you can also seemingly use the box, and at the same time when you equip the box when you get damaged, and then glitch through and basically make your way past the electric panel and the entire electric floor and then leave through the door. However, one issue, it is very slow. The animation plays out very slow, and unfortunately it takes too much time to even do this trick. Plus it's very finicky because it's frame perfect. However, speaking of Shadow Moses, El Paso, another French speedrunner, was inspired by Marlon's trickery and actually played around with the box and the electric floor panel in MGS 1. And there, he made it work. Seemingly, with just right alignment of luck and trying out stuff, he figured out, hey, you can actually be launched through the wall like this if you touch the electric floor panel and then, as he fought back then, hold L2 at the same time, which is basically the same idea. You hold L2 or you let go of it as you get damaged, and then the interaction with the menu happens, plus the animation plays at the same time. And if both things happen at the same time, the engine is just confused what to do next. In the case of Metal Gear Solid 1, then the animation plays a little bit over and over again and extends the animation that you get thrown back. If you just land in the right spot on the wall, you can just stand up and then leave. And then through the outside, basically you can touch the door at the end of the hallway from the other side and then enter basically to the next room leading towards the ninja fight. So yesterday then, Jaguar King, who was streaming at the time, tried the game out as well, and he got to the conclusion that there is a setup, which is leaning against the wall and punching and then going into FPV and sadly walking in FPV mode, which is the thing that exists in case you didn't know, but only on the Japanese integral re-release version for consoles or the old PC version. So not the Master Collection PC version, but the old version that you can, for example, acquire on GOG. In this old PC version, there you don't even need to use a special game mode, which is the thing that we need to use on console, but just a regular PC game allows you to double tap triangle and then move around in first-person view, and you can use any difficulty. On console, this third-person mode sadly is locked to only normal difficulty. You cannot pick any difficulty, it's just normal mode, but then if you double-tap triangle, you are locked into first-person view. Kinda nice gimmick that the developers for the PC version then made permanently a thing, but yeah, this is so far at least what we need to know. It's really cool that this thing works, because in theory you can save quite a big chunk of time. The problem is still the setup. As Jaguar King says in his own tweet as well, it's very frame perfect, and sadly the issue is frame perfect stuff is just not quite reliable, and considering we would only save around 20 seconds, that's not really good enough for us. Good thing though, we are better. As a community, we sat together and figured out more setups for this trick. But before we get to another setup, one quick look back again at what happened during the night. So Blue Metal and Beardson have also tested a little bit back and forth and shared their findings. So what I still find interesting is that in Metal Gear Solid the Twin Snakes, if you skip this Electro panel, some reason afterwards, when you have been captured from the cell and escape the cell, when you come back to the Snow Canyon where you find the tank, all of a sudden there's no guards anymore. So seemingly skipping that electric floor panel destruction and then doing everything else, fighting the ninja, fighting Mantis, fighting Wolf, getting captured and escape the capture. If you go back then to the canyon, there are no guards there, which is at least a problem for the all dog tags getaway, because there are 3 guards there whose dog tags we would need, and else we could not finish the all dog tags run. For an 80% run, as I said already, it's not even a time save because it just takes too long for the animation to play out. At least, of course, in Metal Gear Solid 2 so far, I have not found any other use yet for this, because ideally we would just go through the door because the door opens, but sadly this game is being programmed so well, they really want you to destroy the panel first and then you can go through the door, unfortunately as it is. But coming back to Metal Gear Solid 1, this morning and all day basically, I and a few other people have sat down and tried some more stuff with Metal Gear Solid 1 setup. And I noticed one cool thing. Actually, you don't need this FPV mode. Because what I found out is, what really you only need is just one thing. The electric floor needs to be angled with the blocks at just slightly more than 0 degrees. So if you have the electric floor panel interaction like this, and you want to touch it but just like 1 or 2 angles more, which Metal Gear Solid 1's engine's case, there are distinctive angles that you can turn. It's not perfect 360 degree as you turn in first person view, there are actually steps to that. So if you just go 1 and 2 steps away from it and then slightly interact it, the box will always glitch and give you multiple animations like that and push you further away. With this knowledge, now I just needed to figure out where exactly we need to intersect with the electric floor panel, and afterwards we will always be launched at 90 degrees angles, just north basically, and then if we just hit the wall right, we can get out of bounds quickly. Now I definitely found a lot of setups like this where we get launched on the left side next to the elevator, get out of bounds that way, which also works. The problem of course is you need to be launched quite a few times, and each time it takes more and more time away from your time save. But then finally, after some more testing and just trying out stuff really, I found a method that works. So if you have the console and use this special FPV mode, or if you're just playing the old PC version, here's how you can perform this trick so far. After you enter the room and you skip the cutscene, you go through the codec, after you've done that, be careful. When the codec closes, you need to wait like 1 second roughly. You don't want to immediately lean left. You need to wait a short moment. Then lean left, and in FPV, turn like 3 steps to the right. You can see all the texture on the wall, how it looks like. It's basically on the right side, just these 2 black dots. Don't see the full door frame yet. From there, double tap triangle to activate the FPV mode. Equip any box you want. It can be box A or B. And then just walk forward into the electric floor. With this method then, if you wait patiently a little bit after the codec, then you will be launched 2 times and you will land inside the wall. During your second flight, you want to hold L2 and unequip the box. So Snake will immediately stand up and you're ready to walk. Of course, you don't want to walk anywhere. You just want to walk to the right to leave basically. And then from there, you just walk south past the doors and the rooms to touch the door at the end of the hallway and then move on towards the ninja fight. And ironically, I said it yesterday in MGS2, we are this close to skipping the Nikita in Metal Solid 2. And now we're here and we got Nikita Skip in Metal Solid 1. Which is great, but Metal Solid 1 already has a lot of skips. It would be this one cool thing for Metal Solid 2. But I digress. So yeah, you can finish a run of Metal Solid 1, of course, never needing the Nikita. If you do just any %, and if you fight Raven with grenades, that's what we normally do, for example, on easy and normal difficulty. But for all bosses, this electric floor panel was still a problem. There's only one version of the game where we can just skip it, and that is through area reloading on the PC version for the very easy all bosses category. That's where only this cheat, it's technically a cheat, is enabled and allowed to do. On all other categories, the category that we usually take the most serious is all bosses easy. We cannot do that, and of course on console we could not do that as well. So with our current knowledge, we do know a few things. It's super easy to do, at least if you are able to move within this FPV mode. So console integral can do it in the special version for normal difficulty, and of course the old PC version can do it. But so far, unfortunately, we have not found a regular method that works on all the console versions. And that is probably just a few more days away. We just need a little bit more testing, because as I said, the box just needs to be touching the electric floor panel at a certain angle. And you can do this even, of course, without needing to go into FPV. Here's an example clip where I played around a little bit with it, and you can just simply move the box left and right, and for example in certain setups, the box just turns into the electric panel, touches it at the right time and angle, and then you still get launched. So there technically isn't even FPV mode needed for this. It really just comes down to at what angle, if you are inside a box, do you touch the electric floor, and then you get launched. And at least knowing that, that's already good enough. We're already speculating that roughly for the PC all bosses categories, at least for easy, normal, and probably very easy as well, this will save around 20 seconds. We just need to get out of a way to grab the box, but then it's go time. But as I said, for consoles so far, it's sadly only limited to the integral release and this special FPV mode, which only allows us to play in normal difficulty. So hopefully, again, with more time, we find a setup that doesn't even need FPV mode, that's also just as reliable. But so far, after just 1 day of finding this cool interaction with the game, I'm glad that we can move already a little bit faster in the speedrun categories. We have something that's easy to execute, and I'm sure with more time and investigation, we find out even more stuff. And also, so far at least, there's still hope for Metal Solid 2. Yes, this new finding Metal Solid 1 has got a little bit more focus right now, but once we're done with that, probably people will go back again to Metal Solid 2 and the Twin Snakes, and who knows? It was not the first time that a relatively small time save for Metal Solid 2 turned out to be a relatively big time save for Metal Solid the Twin Snakes. So I'm sure, as the days go by, there will be more videos to come. And be sure as well that I will cover the topics as soon as I can. Thank you everyone for watching, hope you have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next run. Bye bye.